Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope everyone is doing well, inshallah. Today, I kind of wanted to address a video that I seen last night that really angered me. And it's not just that video. There's plenty more like that. The video looks like it's from an outdoor restaurant footage. And it's of an Asian woman walking down a street in Chinatown here in New York in broad daylight. Might have been in the afternoon. You can kind of see people sitting down having lunch. So this Asian woman, she's walking on the sidewalk, and this guy out of nowhere just sucker punches her in the face in a totally unprovoked attack. I tweeted about the video on my timeline. You can see it. It's really disturbing because, that could have been your mom, your grandma, your auntie. It doesn't matter, your loved one. And it was hard to watch, especially since you can see the woman just laying on the floor unconscious. What's crazy is that after she's knocked out, the black dude that knocked her out is still standing there like he doesn't even know what's going on. Clearly, something is not right in this dude's head. The people who seen him knock her out, they came to the lady's aid, and I thought they were going to, whoop this guy's butt, but nobody did anything. I think police later apprehended the guy and he was taken to a nearby hospital for some sort of psych evaluation. Clearly, he's a psycho. But I heard earlier today that he's going to be charged with a hate crime, if I'm not mistaken. The reason I bring this up is not because of the increase or uptick in Asian hate crimes, although, that is happening and that's another big problem. But just law and order in New York in general right now. There's a huge uptick in crime throughout the 5 boroughs. And I don't think that, just because, you live in Manhattan that you're safe or something like that. It's not safe because we got homicides happening in Upper East Side, which is one of the more predominantly white, upper class, affluent neighborhoods. New York is kind of rapidly becoming the next Chicago, and it's sad. But we can kind of thank the whole bail reform, prison reform, police reform, whatever, all these reforms that's pushed by lawmakers and the city, and the state at that level. And it seems like they don't really care what's going on, or nor do they even care to see what's going on. It's like as if they're in their own world, high up in the mountains somewhere away from society, and they think that the evil, can't touch them. It's not only them. It's also, thanks to the whole, BLM scam organization and all the anti-police rhetoric, which kind of paved the way for many of the criminals to do what they do best, which is rob, steal, murder, pretty much violate the rights of ordinary citizens. But some might say, criminals do these things regardless. Yeah, they do, but with lenient laws, it's just basically encouraging more of this behavior. It kind of just gives them an extra cushion since they think that they won't, get held accountable. Last summer, we seen a video of police responding to a male who was shot in Harlem, and the police couldn't even render aid because a crowd started throwing water bottles at them and blocking the roadway. It's so stupid and sad, and I don't blame police officers, for the actions of a few individuals. Just like I wouldn't blame a certain group of people or professionals just because someone within their organization did something. And we all know that that's not the right thing to do. You can't just paint everyone under the same brush. But what's worse is that, you got the liberal media portraying, them as in police officers as murderers, when in reality, a lot of the shootings and, they're kind of technically justified according to their training. And anyone who thinks otherwise probably wouldn't be able to even last a day in their shoes with all the BS that they see every day. And it also kind of underappreciates some of the heroic sacrifices that they make. Literally a week ago, there was a viral video of police officers running to a car that was completely engulfed in flames. And, they were able to successfully rescue the man. And, that's a real heroic act. And most people wouldn't even be able to do that. But you don't really see that side of the police officers and what they do. The media doesn't really show that side. I remember, after 9/11, cops were portrayed as heroes. So many officers had lost their lives running to the towers. And nearly now, 20 years later, they're now portrayed as the villains. Look at the power of the media. Like, look how easily they can manipulate people into thinking a certain way, Subhanallah, it's actually kind of frightening. But anyways, I'm kind of drifting off topic here. But back to the video. So this crazy guy is caught in 4K. He's winding his arm back and literally, is knocking out this Asian woman out cold. Honestly, she could have died from trauma to the head. The people around her were in so much shock that when they came to her aid, the black guy was still standing there. And, no sane person is going to still be standing there. They'd probably, run by now, because they don't obviously want to get caught. But, you think that there would be some sort of retaliation from the bystanders, or just, or you think that they would probably jump this guy for completely assaulting a woman in their own community in broad daylight. But no, nothing. Nobody did anything. When he was finally arrested, police found drugs on him. And it's possible he could have been acting out on drugs. What's sad here is that this guy probably needs, some sort of help. But who's gonna be the one to give him that help? Is it social workers, doctors? A lot of times there's help out there, but people don't want it or don't know how to get it. And sometimes people don't want to even deal with someone that's mentally ill or somebody who's not all there or severely emotionally distressed because, they tend to act up, and oftentimes they act up violently. What would have happened if he had a knife or a gun? He could have actually killed someone. I'm not just pointing him out, but I'm saying, and I'm using him as an example because New York has a huge mental health issue problem here. There's so many people that are out on the streets that shouldn't be out on the streets. But, everyone is afraid to kind of talk about this. They're afraid to be canceled. Nobody really cares about those who are the real victims here. Just innocent bystanders walking down the street in their neighborhoods. And sadly, the victims are the elderly, the women, the children. Anyways, man, I thought I'd, vent a little bit about this. I appreciate you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys think about what's going on right now with the way crime is, on the rise here in New York, Chicago, Portland, all these major cities. Let me know. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.